In today's video, I will be redrawing the thumbnail of Woke and Fork food recipe video, in particular the tomato egg soup boost your immunity with soup video. One thing I really want to get better at drawing is truly how to structure what I'm drawing right. I kind of just go at it and I just start drawing. I don't really have a thought process in between, like, this is my rough draft. This is where I do my flat colors. This is where I do my shadows. This is where I do my lights. This is where I build. Like, I'm never building. I'm more or less just putting stuff over it and over it and over it until it kind of works out in my favor. I believe my methodology as I grow throughout this process of drawing different thumbnails, it's just building and building and building and building and seeing what works and what doesn't work. And I believe what works for me when it comes to creative process of creating things, it's by doing the bare bones of what I'm seeing, then building on top of the details. I believe that's every sketch. You start with a very clear rough draft of the clear anatomy or the kind of like the structure of what it is, then you start going into the deep details. If you start at the details, then you have this kind of final product, and when you're trying to switch things around, it's more difficult in that way because everything's already in place, so you technically have to restart again. That's not really fun. I believe one thing that I failed over and over again is color accuracy when it comes to this piece, but to be fair, I don't really I look, you forgot what it's called, like the eye drop thing. I don't eye drop. I don't even like look at my reference. I'm looking at my reference on my tablet and I'm just looking like, oh, is this right? Is this not right? Is this close enough? Is this close enough? And I'm trying to get a better eye at trying to balance my color. Is it color theory? I'm not sure, but color recognition. I'm unsure of the terminology, but the colors aligning with the reference, I'm trying to get better gauge at that, and I believe I don't have the correct gauge, if that makes sense. Now, I like to talk about drawing in general in terms of drawing things that aren't structured. I believe in my other videos I draw more structured things, except in the one I drew rice. This is kind of my rice again, in the sense that there's no structured way of drawing shadows, lights, and midtones. You're always in this like kind of like push and pull of like, where does the light lay and where does the shadows lay. It's a more of a fluid substance, so clearly you're not going to have a clear understanding of where the lights and shadows are at, but you're going to have this weird way of drawing a liquid substance, which I don't have the correct, let's say I don't have the correct understanding of how to draw shadows when I'm drawing more fluid, watery objects or things, I guess. And it was very difficult. It was very, very difficult for me to try and do this because it was hard for me to draw something more not structured, I guess. But yeah, in terms of everything else, I believe it became clearer and clearer as I started to draw and started to build on top of what I drew. And for the brushes I used, I kind of just used 3 brushes, which is I don't remember the name of these brushes because I'm just doing a voiceover, but you'll see like in like the video or like in the time lapse, you see like this more fluid brush that's more rectangular, and you see a more rectangular brush, and I believe I use another one, or I think that's it. Like, I think that is it, but you kind of limit the brushes I use. But the more I see more rendering videos online, I see people use I don't know, it's like the scissor thing, like the scissor, I don't know what it's called, but they kind of crop it out, then they put the shadows in, then they crop a different part, they put the shadows in, and it's this way of like building and rendering, and they have a clear gauge of where the color should start. They're using multiple colors, and I find it very difficult to do that, but I'm very keen on understanding that. I think that's going to be my next thing I'm going to do when I'm rendering a food thumbnail video. But yeah, I found this very fun, but I'm gonna like wrap it up on like a note of me talking. I would also like to talk about, it's been like 3 weeks that I've posted. It's been a long time. Like, I wouldn't say longer than before, because I thought I posted like 2 months ago, but it's been a very hard balancing creativity and being happy with what I'm creating and actually making videos. It's kind of like this like balance, this weird balance of doing this, but if not, I'll try and find that balance sooner or later. But it's kind of like this push and pull of like, is this worth my time? Like, should I keep on doing this, or should I not keep on doing this? But at certain times I'm like, I just like do it, and I kind of just have fun doing it. After I realize, oh, I'm not getting any engagement with this, so like, why am I doing this in the first place? And I realized, oh, I just enjoy doing this. Like, that's kind of like the whole point. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this video if anyone's watching. But yeah, that's the end of my little yap session about this food thumbnail. But I'll see you later. Hope you enjoy how it looks like.